Alright guys, so it feels like we haven't done a gaming headset review in a very long time, and to be honest, it's really because we haven't. There hasn't been much that's come out. But today we have the Turtle Beach Recon 70. Now, I do want to say that they have a Nintendo Switch version, an Xbox One, and a PS4 version. They're pretty much all the same. They're just different color variations. Now, the one thing that I do want to point out right off the bat, this is a $40 gaming headset. So we have to keep that in mind, because the first thing that I noticed is, man, this doesn't feel like normal gaming headsets. Well, it's because the ones I'm normally trying out are way more. So we all have to kind of keep in mind this is $40 and who this is for. So before we get into all the details, the one thing I do want to point out is the Nintendo Switch version for some reason is available on Amazon, but the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One shows release as May 1st. So I think the official release date is May 1st, but there will be links below to all three just in case you're interested. So one of the things that I want to point out is on the top of the box, under the fact that it says this is a Nintendo Switch, it also says that it works for the PS4, the Xbox One, all that. So all three versions will work on either system. It just depends on what your color preference is. So in the box, this is simple. There's no accessories. You open the box, you just get the headset, and you get some instructions, which really you don't need instructions because there's no additional connections. The wire on this is non-detachable, so it's already attached to this. And that can be a plus or minus. The big minus, obviously, is if something goes wrong with the cable, you're kind of screwed. You can't just buy another cable. But the big pro to this is you can't lose the cable either. So if these are for a kid or somebody that's taking these on the go, your cable's always attached, and it's just one less thing you have to keep up with. Now the cable itself is the rubber coated silicone. It's not extremely long, but it'll definitely do the trick. You don't want a long cable if you're going to be plugging this into your mobile device, your Switch, or whatever on the go, and have 10 feet of cable. So I get why they did this. The build quality of these, now when I took them out of the box, I felt they were really light and they're really plastic. So obviously the first warning sign is, are these things going to break easily? Once you start to bend them and twist them and stuff like that, it makes you feel a little bit better. A little bit better that these aren't going to break. Now, one thing I do want to point out that I noticed right around the headband area on the left and right hand side, basically where the ear pad stops, you see this tiny little cable. Now that's the cable that runs from one side to the other. You can see that thin little cable. Now at any given moment, that could catch on something in a bag and yank. That's going to pull that headband piece out, which, to be honest, is just a really thin little pleather. Not very much padding, but again, like I said, this is one of the lightest headsets I've ever felt, so padding's not necessary, because when they're on your ears, they're not heavy, there's not weight on the top of your head, they're actually really comfortable. As far as the extenders go, you can see that it just kind of extends within the top part of the headband. They do not fold flat, but they do swivel to lay flat. The pleather ear pads honestly are really soft, and there is a very big opening inside. So these are considered over the ear, and I think no matter what your ear size, you're not going to have an issue with these fitting the right way. Now, as you can see, this one is red with the Turtle Beach logo inside the ear pad. Now, depending on which model you get, it'll be blue or green. The branding on the outside is really minimal. Of course, it has Turtle Beach right up top, but it's just kind of a little embossed. It's not a bright color or anything obnoxious. As far as comfort goes, this is an extremely lightweight, comfortable headset. Now on your left-hand side, on the back, is your volume control wheel. That is just for game volume only. There's no way to control the microphone volume. Now the microphone on here is non-detachable. It is one of those that when you fold it down, it turns it on, and then when you fold it back up, it'll turn it off. So again, I would have liked to have mic controls even if it was on the cable. But speaking of the microphone, let's do a mic test right here. All right, guys, so here is the mic quality on the Turtle Beach Recon 70. This, again, is what it's going to sound like if you're using it across all the gaming systems. Now, if you want to use it on PC, you are going to need the splitter cable because this is just a single cable. Obviously, PC has the input for the headphone and for the microphone. But I think for $40, again, if you curb your expectations, this is more than passable for a gaming headset. Now it's time to get into the big thing. We've got to talk about sound. And I'll have to say, for $40, I think Turtle Beach did a really good job here with the Recon 70. I think it falls in line with the HyperX Stinger, which goes for $40 to $50. So I think sound-wise, it's exactly where it needs to be. These do not have like booming upfront bass like a lot of Turtle Beach headsets do. To me, they're really clear, and I could tell that that's where the focus in this headset is. It's more in the clarity and the mid-range. So your trebles are extremely clear. And again, when they say that this is made for Battle Royale, that's pretty much what this is. Because in Battle Royale, you really want to be able to pinpoint and hear where everybody is. Now, this isn't a surround sound gaming headset, but the sound imaging and their ability to kind of just space out your sound for $40 is really, really impressive. I would have liked for these to have a little more bass, but that is a sound preference of mine. Most gamers, their main focus is going to be on clarity and being able to pinpoint where stuff is located. And for $40, these really are impressive in that aspect. I think if you're going in and you're just spending $40 on a gaming headset, you can't really expect this full spectrum of sound with booming bass, but crystal clear highs and, perfectly balanced mids. But again, the way that they altered and did this headset, I'm impressed. I really think going into it, I was just expecting like boomy bass and more of a muddier sound, more of a mainstream type headphone sound, and they didn't go with that. They went with a clearer sound, picking up great mid-range, which is so important in gaming that most people don't understand. So that's my video on the Turtle Beach Recon 70. Definitely gets my approval for $40. I mean, it ticks all the boxes and it's not doing anything, over the top. Obviously, you're getting what you're paying for, but in this case, I feel like you're getting a little bit more than you're paying for. So guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.